Hi, my name is Nicole Monaco, and this is obviously our host, Benny Rizzuti, and tonight we're supposed to have our special guest, John LaRocchia, who we're hoping arrives soon. Otherwise, we do have an exclusive second-part interview for our Don Sill interview, and we have Ryan Rizzuti with us also tonight, who is Benny's son, and the reason why most of the top of his hair is gone.
I'm here too.
Oh yeah, and Steven's here too.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you, Nicole Monaco. Let's have a big round of applause.
Yay.
I feel demoted.
You
This is
And
this is an
Steven Perillo is here with us as well.
I feel like first Ryan's now here. I feel like I'm gonna be voted off the island.
You are.
You're not getting voted off. Nobody's getting voted off. You know, I need an egg. I need one of those timers, kitchen timers,
Why?
because Nancy says, my wife Nancy.
Your wife Nancy. Oh, he's here.
He's made it.
Well, there's a door. John LaRocchia is in the building. Yay!
Yay.
We just found. Yay!
After our commercial break, we will bring him on.
he's like, come with me.
We'll talk about
He's like in the
that.
studio. He's like, what is
We'll
this?
tell you all about John. We will tell you.
It's a great place of wonderment.
When we have our break, because we bring our, had he been here, we would have been explained to him that our guest comes on after the first 15 minutes because we discuss comedy
Yes.
and maybe whatever.
Whatever else we did throughout the week, which was
A lot of
celebrate
fun.
Halloween. I went to.
How was your Halloween, Nicole?
My Halloween was fantastic. I was at Tony Landolfi's wedding, which was awesome. We had a great time.
I didn't realize you were that close with Tony Landolfi.
Well, I am now.
Very funny man who is going to be on the Gagootz show very soon. Big surprise.
Yeah.
How was your Halloween, Benny?
Yeah.
My Halloween was great.
Where'd you spend it? Where'd you
I
spend it?
spent it at this great restaurant, Villa Monaco's in West
Oh, that
Island.
place is okay.
Yeah.
I love, you know what?
We don't let your kind in there.
Yeah.
What, owl enthusiasts? I was going to say owl lovers, but that sounds weird. Owl enthusiasts.
No, it's not weird if somebody says owl lover, who? Steve Perillo. Oh, that's not weird.
Not at all.
Now it all makes sense.
You know,
I think if you just look up weird, it just says see Steven Perillo.
In the dictionary.
In the dictionary.
Thank you, son Ryan.
Son Ryan.
Son Ryan, wife Nancy.
Yeah.
Son Ryan, running bear.
Anyway, I had a great time at the party. It was right up my alley. Had a lot of fun.
Good music. You were Mr. Carter.
I was Mr. Carter from Welcome Back Carter I had the big hair, but I had a big fro, so it wasn't like the little Carter fro.
I'm Arnold Horshack.
Go big or go home. What did you do for Halloween?
I spent the evening with my two good friends, Jimmy Britt and Kevin Brogan.
Oh, how was that?
It was very lovely.
What did you dress up as?
I was a
I'm
I was
very
the
interested in your
son
story.
I was a son Ryan.
I was very interested in your story.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I was this like weird voodoo doctor guy, and someone's calling me right now, but I'm gonna ignore it. Yeah, it was
That was
fun.
That
Part
must
of
be
his-
very
that was-
hard for you since your phone probably never rings.
I know.
And anyway, I said
The
before
dust
that
is
I
coming off
explained,
of it as
because
it
I'm
migrates.
getting old, I explained I need Nancy told me to get like a kitchen timer. Because I always try to time, our segments for
Right,
breaks.
right.
And she's like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? And I'm like, I'm looking at my, my timer. So
You
I
should
gotta
have
get-
her call you every few. Like,
Yeah.
Give her the time schedule and have her call you.
She doesn't-
My wife Nancy, it's time to go to break. No.
Yeah, she doesn't call me enough. I don't get enough.
No. I went
Enough
over
messages.
I went over Jimmy Britt's house. It's cool. Like he does his house kind of like this, like haunted, like mansion type of thing. Not that it's like a haunted house.
Right.
Kids come over and they go like around the lawn and everything like that. It's like really cool thing.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Brogan dressed up as Michael Cera,
Yes. From what movie?
Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, okay.
But that was him, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
What did you do for Halloween?
I followed around Steve, but no, I'm just kidding.
That is
I
scary.
went. I worked for the first half of Halloween, and then I got off and I went to a party and I went as the Punisher,
Oh.
which involved with me wearing a Punisher shirt and jeans.
That
So it was very,
is
very
not-
economical. easy to go,
There
easy to
you
use,
go.
and you just run around screaming, "Someone killed my family! The mob killed my family!" It's very easy.
You didn't
It's
ruin any dinner parties and come down from the ceiling and swing from chandeliers.
Thought about it. I thought about just going to anyone with a really long Italian like name and just kicking down the door and be like, "You killed my family."
I have a really long Italian last name.
It's not that long.
Well, Larocchia's is. How about him?
4 syllables.
I have cousins. My cousins, I have family. Their last name is Castro Giovanni.
Madonna mia.
Which,
It's funny, so do I.
wow,
My
what a
God! Whoa, are
coincidence.
you two related?
And do you
Yes.
know,
Oh,
Castro
son, I-
Giovanni translates to Uncle Gio is sleeping on the couch.
What?
Castro convertible, you remember that?
No, I don't. Must have
Before our
been
time.
must have been about 3 lifetimes before my time.
Oh, here we go with the old age jokes from my own son, Ryan.
Well, if the shoe fits,
Doesn't he
it's
have-
probably because it was a hand-me-down.
Wait, but speaking of names, don't you, like you were mentioning his middle name or something like that, right?
Yeah,
It's
his-
like,
Oh,
Can-
well,
can we
we're
talk
going to
about
bring that up?
well, we brought it up backstage, so.
Yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead.
What's your middle name? Like,
Go ahead.
Pellegrino?
No, I forgot.
She didn't forget.
What was it?
You know, there's a-
Pellegrino.
Oh, Palomino.
I call him Peg Leg Pelly.
Pomegranate?
All right. I'm going to tell you, we only have like 4 minutes before we're going to a video and then a break. So I'll try to tell you real quick. When I was little, I thought my name was Benny. Everybody called me Benny. Then we went to school.
Little did he
My
know.
my mother came from Sicily, which is, she came from Sicily, so I was the only kid in my neighborhood who could speak fluent broken English.
Okay.
So
I'm not kidding you not.
I'm a no kiddie you not. She loves that line. I'm a no kiddie you not. So anyway, my aunt who was born in this country, my father's
What's her
sister.
name?
What?
What was your aunt's name?
Rose.
Your Aunt Rose.
My aunt Rose. Yeah. What a pain in my thing. So anyway, she wrote, you know, this. What I didn't know was they called me Benny, but my real first name, not my middle name,
Your
my first
name.
name is Pellegrino. Pellegrino. So they call me Benny. So how do you feel when you're in first grade and the teacher tells you, you think you're going to write Benny, I'm going to get off easy, right? A 5-letter name? Pellegrino. Benny is this, Pellegrino. And all the kids made fun of me because back then, and I blame the African-American community for this, why I was made fun of, because back then, all the African-American kids were Michael and Brenda and Lucille. There was no Jamal. There was no Latifah. If I had some Jamal, if I had what? Give me a few names there.
I'm not getting
I'm
into
not
this.
getting into
I'm not
this
getting involved in this because it's gonna be on. This could be on Bill O'Reilly tomorrow.
If I had a LeBron, a Jamal, and a LeBron, that'd be cool. They'd be like, "Yo, my man Pellegrino." Hey, that would be good.
I mean, I did go to college with someone named Splash and another one named Bones.
So I'm a little mad because I was Pellegrino ahead of my time. If I was Pellegrino now, they'd
You
be
were
like,
Pellegrino
they not
before it
have
was
a
cool.
my name Greeno, my main man Greeno, they'd be calling me. I would love that.
On the
big
very
hell.
special episode of the Gagootz show.
The big, because you got LeBron now. You didn't have a LeBron back then. I had Michael Brown.
That sounds
Michael
racist.
Brown, Brenda Witherspoon. What happened? Yeah. What happened?
Louis Armstrong.
What happened? Aisha.
Denzel Washington.
Aisha, what a beautiful name, Aisha. There was no Aisha in the Bayshore High when I went to school.
Well, you should go back.
Yeah, go there today and see what you find.
Yeah, but
Oh, no.
so I'm a
I
little.
bet you won't even find a Benny.
Listen, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Pellegrino will be the normalest
What
name.
I said,
if you went
what
there
I,
now.
what I said was, what I meant by what I said was the fact that I had the only strange name in my school growing up.
Right.
And they would
So
say,
you were the minority.
So they would say I was a minority, and every time the name Pellegrino, everybody, every nationality, even the Spanish kids were laughing at me. Even a kid whose name was Jesus,
Oh,
which is Jesus.
Don't bring Jesus into this.
Oh, the
He's a really
baby.
nice guy.
We're laughing. Pellegrino. I was hearing this Pellegrino. Oh my! See, you want to know how we're going to kill the first 10 minutes of this show?
I think
We
we just killed
accomplished
it.
it.
It's funny because he always brings up like, oh, did anyone ever pick on you with your last name when you were a kid? I'm like, no, people call me Rizzuti. Like that's my normal
Didn't you
nickname.
say
Is people call me Rizzuti.
Didn't people
I've been-
tell you Tutti Frutti Rizzuti or something?
Yeah, Rizzuti Tutti Frutti.
That was it.
Apparently, when my dad was a kid, they called him Rapoopy a lot.
No, Reduti.
Reduti.
Reduti, like duty.
Reduti.
And they thought that was fun. So Pellegrino
That's
Reduti.
wordplay.
I just got normal. I just got, hey, how's it going? You're also someone my age. Let's converse.
I was
People just like picking on my dad.
Pellegrino
I don't know.
Reduti. So they called me Pellegrino. And then for years, it would be like, whenever a new teacher or substitute, Pellegrino Rizzuti, and all the kids would laugh.
And all you wanted was that Red Ryder BB gun.
But I'll tell you, now I'm proud of the name. My real name is Pellegrino, okay? I'm proud of it.
Let's give it up to
right.
Pellegrino.
But Benny, for some reason, there were like 5 Bennys in my family, but on their birth certificate it says Pellegrino. So why
Well,
this?
that doesn't make sense at all, but thanks for sharing that whole story with us.
You brought it up.
No, I brought it up, actually.
Actually, Mr. Perillo Tours brought it up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Perillo Tours with free Pellegrino water.
Did you know that this is the only show where we're going to have 5 Italians who are wearing a wire and nobody's going down?
That's pretty funny.
Is that not cool?
I could have said something dirty,
All
but
right.
it's a family show.
Anyway, we're going to go to a video about me and my family. So imagine that, how ironic, about me telling stories about my family. And then we'll be back with our super guest, John LaRocchia.
Super cat.
Don't go away. You're watching The Gagootz Show on Madhouse TV.
Well, you know, young people, they don't respect the elders. I love my family. I respected my family. I did. I grew up and I learned a lot. Most of them were from Sicily. I learned gardening, I learned figs, all the stuff that I didn't know I was going to need to know when I became 50 years old. But I do that, and I still remember, my uncle, we would turn the dirt over, and then when everybody would leave, my Uncle Charlie, my mother's younger brother, he liked to tell me stories about the old country. And he would use the dirt with a stick and draw pictures, Sicilian hieroglyphics. Now here was the farmer where we live. Here was over here was, I used to go to a woman, Maria Malato. Oh, now you know. When he was done, he'd erase it. I was going to tell what the hell you're talking about. And then one day my mother came with refreshments, and she looked down before my uncle could erase it. Oh, Maria Malato's house! And every Italian woman in my family wore an apron. They all wore, my mother, may she rest in peace, would go to sleep with her apron. She had everything in there. She had a tape measure, a wooden spoon, a little piece of bread with butter on it, and a rosary beads. They all had the rosary beads. My aunt one time got robbed, and while the guy was running away with her purse, she took out the rosary beads with a big wooden cross and the steel on it. She swung it like a cowboy, hit the guy in the head, and didn't miss one Hail Mary. All right, I'm going to leave you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have 2 practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multi-discipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, GMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhouse TV.
You are the man.
And we're back with our guest tonight, Mr. John LaRocchia, who is the president of Laughter Saves Lives and also a retired fireman. And let's give him a big warm welcome.
Yeah! I thought I was a special guest. On the break, you said special guest. Then we went live. I'm just a guest.
Now he's our guest.
Now I'm like,
he's late. Now
that's
the
it.
special
He was
part went out
super
the window.
In 10 minutes, I'll be the idiot like I'm at home, and I'll be out the door.
Now, I think before we ask you we have a lot of questions.
Wait a minute. Time out. Actually, you wrote on the Facebook today. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be making an ass out of myself.
That's my, anytime I go on TV, I was on Good Day New York, I was on The View. My main goal is not to make an ass of myself. I don't set the bar too high.
You were fine, because my wife, Nancy, records anytime the guy she knows, any comic she knows.
And here we go, not making an ass of myself. Nancy did all of that stuff. I meet Nancy, I'm like, who are you? Right? Like, oh, I did this for you. Oh, did you? I'm an idiot. You know, I made an ass of myself in front of Nancy, and it only took like 30
seconds. And you know
Nancy
for what,
yeah.
15 years or so?
Benny, I'm an idiot. What can I tell you?
Speaking of idiot, before we go into the great things, because you've done a lot of great things.
Oh, okay.
But before we go into that, speaking of idiot, how come you were late?
My clock, I can't, because
Daylight savings was a couple of days
I had
ago,
5 o'clock in my head to leave, and it's supposed to be 5, I'm supposed to be here. So I apologize. I totally screwed up. But it kind of, you know, I made it on time, but I understand what it's like to produce something, and you're like, well, this guy's not
because
here.
I would have explained to you, but my fault, I used to email everybody a format of how the show runs.
You're going to scold me right on live TV is what you're going to do, Benny.
No.
I see what you're doing here. I was 6 feet when I walked in. I'm going to be this much when I leave.
No, John, how long we know each other, really?
A long time, but I don't remember because I'm an idiot, Benny.
I like Mama Luke. It's nice of Mama Luke. And nobody can actually has the definition of Mama Luke.
In Philadelphia, there's a place called Tony Luke's, I think it is, that sells Philadelphia cheesesteaks, and their motto is, don't be a Mama Luke, get a Tony Luke.
Wow, I love that. Do they have T-shirts?
Yes, they do.
I got to get me one.
I'll get you one the next time I go there.
Next time you go get me, I'll give you the money for it.
I love Philly cheesesteak.
In fact, I went the last time and I got a pork.
I always think of Marmaduke.
I got a pork Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, let me try it. I mean, and I ate the whole thing, and I said, you know what? Should get a real Philly cheesesteak, right? Let me just get one, and I'll take a few bites, and I'll bring the rest home. I ate both of them. I ate both, you fat slob. I ate both of them.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, but you don't have this.
I'm
you
hiding
know?
it under a desk.
I don't think so.
I wish
All
I
right,
sat behind.
Let's stop talking about Philly cheesesteaks.
Now-
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah,
We
let's
can't
get-
eat on the set.
Okay, you're a retired fireman, but you were doing comedy before you retired.
I started doing comedy. I worked in Manhattan my first 10 years on the job, ladder 12 on right off of 7th Avenue, 19th Street, outside of the village. And I loved working there because there's all different kinds of things going on down in the village. And you never know what you're going to expect going into somebody's apartment. I mean, we had a ball down there. But I always made people laugh at parties. And I felt like wasn't enough. So I took a comedy class, just like, Rich Walker has their class. I took one in Manhattan. And the final was at Dangerfields, the final class, And
Did you pass?
I did, and I was hooked. I mean, I did every biker's bar, lesbian bar, any place I can get up. Some places like a case of beer with a stage, And
Whatever worked, you did it.
I was hooked, and I loved doing stand-up. But after 9/11, I stopped doing it for a while for obvious reasons. And then, I got this passion to start this comedy tour and foundation, and now I have a new energy. I have a new, direction in comedy because I'm probably never going to make it big. I'm not going to make
Never
a big time
say that.
comedy. Well, I'm probably not. All right, but every time I get up on stage now, almost every show I do, there's some depth to it. We're doing it for somebody who's sick, or we're raising money for the foundation. We're going to donate. So I'm having a lot of fun again doing comedy. A lot of fun. We're clapping. Oh, all right.
It's one of my things.
And
I
the
like to do.
foundation-
He sucked for a while. He's back.
The foundation is called.
Laughter Saves Lives, and I had to actually go to the banking commission to use the word saves, and the lawyer tried to talk me out of it. He said,
Really?
John, you're gonna they squashed it. You're gonna have to wait a while to get. I said, no, I love the way that sounds. Laughter saves lives, and even when you start a foundation, right? You want to do something good, right, Nicole? You go, I want to do something good. Right. Okay, IRS, I want to do something good. Give me a 501c3. Okay, $850. No, I want to do something good. Then you go to the lawyer and say, hey, I want to do something good. $1,500. No, you don't understand. So people, I put a lot of money into this. I hope my wife never watches this. She has no idea.
What's your wife's name?
Paula, but she thinks I'm at the
Paula,
supermarket
okay.
right now, in fact. She doesn't.
My wife thinks this show is free.
His wife name.
Oh, yeah.
She thinks I won this show in a contest.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, I know. I did a radio show for a while also.
But then if they go to the store and see a dress for $200, they'll tell you it was on sale and they got it for $28.
Kohl's Cash, man, it's like free. Kohl's Cash, she loves Kohl's Cash.
Oh, yeah.
That
my
is like
wife-
better than real cash.
It's very exciting when you get that.
It is. I even started to get excited now. I like
You're
Kohl's.
like, you get the Kohl's cash?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. I'm
All
sorry. How
right,
do
so
we get
you
on
started
Kohl's?
the foundation.
I really
Started the
don't ever want
foundation.
to get to that point.
Yes,
I
and
don't ever wanna be excited for
we've
Kohl's
been to Colorado. I just came back from Vero Beach last Friday. We had a ball. Because, again, the people were passionate about bringing me down. And not that I'm a big charity, but they believed in what I'm doing. We raised money for their local charity, which is called Safer, which is a charity that people that, in an emergency, if it's hitting the fan and they don't have enough cops and firemen, these people come out of their homes and they assist. They direct traffic. They make searches. When they're certified, it's called CERT, like officially certified by the government.
Right.
But so we raised money for that. They brought me down, and man, we had a ball. They had a table of media to interview me, all right? Like the Super Bowl. And I go down and I go, people, I'm going to be an idiot in a day. I'm going back to Belmore. Don't make me feel too good. But, I mean, laughs. We raised some money. It was great.
That's
You
great.
actually have a show coming up this Friday, I think, with our guest from last week, Scott Baker.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And there's a little confusion about this. It's not
that's
a
a callback.
show. It's an almost gala because we're not snooty. So anybody, if you're paying $65 a ticket, come naked. I don't care. I'm not just looking at you. Looking at Betty. My wife would go, why were you looking at her when you said that? Why weren't you looking at Betty?
And your wife would say,
but
well,
then
you
again,
want to see
maybe,
Benny
yeah, maybe.
nude?
Getting
Yeah.
hot in
Tell
here.
Benny it's $130, not $65.
So yeah, it's a gala, but we do have about an hour of comedy. In fact, somebody you introduced me to is opening up the show,
Oh.
Jordan. I just think he's a nice fit for the night. He's doing like 7 minutes.
Steve introduced Jordan to me.
Okay, well, somebody you guys introduced me to.
He's
Hi.
getting
and I-
upset that he's not getting any of the credit right now, so we gotta praise the baby.
Just Steve introduced me to this guy. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. It's a fundraiser. We're going to have DJ. We're going to have DJ dancing, the comedy, $65, beer and wine, and dinner. It's not a
Right.
bad deal.
Not
I
at
mean,
all.
you know, it's not a bad deal. It's not my typical comedy show where it's $25, but it's going to be a great night.
Yeah,
I'm really
but
looking forward
you're
to it.
getting everything with it.
Yep,
Food.
and I bought a suit today.
Oh, you did?
I
Where'd you-
actually went out
where
and
did you
bought a
go?
suit,
Fancy.
and the guy didn't call me portly like the last time for my son's wedding, which I liked.
Well, where
You're
did
a
you
little
get this-
portly, you know.
Where did you get the suit?
I ended up getting the suit at Men's Warehouse.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you know what's so funny?
Did you like the way you look?
I do. I like the way. Do you like the way I look? Can you move change seats?
Whoa.
We went online. We're going back and forth Facebook, right? Go Men's Warehouse. Go to Kohl's. Somebody said.
I did,
somebody
yeah.
somebody messaged me embarrassed. You know, I bought my last suit at Walmart. You know,
Like it was a secret.
I never get embarrassed about Walmart. Most of my stuff comes from Walmart.
I go to Kohl's. I'm really surprised with it. I love
Just
the
the Kohl's
clothes.
today.
I love the clothes over there.
Yeah, I bought my
Kohl's is
my
cool.
shirt and tie. So I'm going to look spiffy.
Beautiful.
Yes,
You're gonna look
beautiful.
I like Walmart because it's the closest I'll ever get to like the Ebola outbreak. So that's why
Without
I like to go
actually
there.
Like
getting
the-
it.
Yeah, without actually going there, it's the closest I'm gonna get to it.
That's what Pellegrino.
Yeah.
Father's
no.
name Giovanni.
Oh,
But he was
really?
never called that, only in the military. And you were saying long last names. He says, I'm very ADD.
Okay.
John Bacabella. Do you remember? Are you a baseball fan?
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Montreal
Baca-
Expos catcher. That was his name. John Bacabella.
Bacabella.
But it took the PA guy like 5 minutes to say his name. Batting third. Look at the John Bacabella. So I always remember that name. It went around his uniform twice. What else you got for me?
Oh,
else
well, the biggest question of the night,
Uh-oh.
how are your grades in school?
We got these
Why is
hot
this-
button issues.
Why is this a hot button issue? My grades
This
in
is a
school.
hot button topic.
I did well in school.
You
I did well in school. College, I did fine. My sister didn't do so good, but I did fine. I went to Queens College, the City University of New York. Graduated with a accounting degree.
Oh,
But my sister was, every time I went into the cafeteria, just by coincidence, I ran into my sister. And then I finally realized she wasn't going to any classes. Finally I went home and I said, Ma, you're wasting your money. This chick. ain't gonna-"
she's not doing nothing with her
That's
life.
great.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have to take a break.
Okay.
And then we'll be right back with John
Having a lot of fun.
LaRocchia, and
Yeah.
we have a lot more to ask you besides
Uh-oh.
school.
Uh-oh. We'll clap again. Clap again.
Yay!
Yay.
We like random clapping.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your #1 resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the #1 supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive. Selected for their unique, memorable flavor, Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
And we're back with our special guest, John LaRocchia.
Special again.
And Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I'm not.
Why did I get thrown into this?
Wait, you're involved now. Okay.
Jesus.
You're a member now. You know, the only thing separating you two guys is a headband.
It's a bandana.
Yeah, a bandana, I'm sorry.
Now I look like I'm in prison.
You look like Tupac.
Right, well, the only kid,
Two
you know.
flab.
You know I love you, Ryan. You know,
Stephen, not so much. No.
Stephen, yeah, Stephen, but Ryan, I love you. You're my son. Stephen.
Because we're related.
Well, they found you on the doorstep. Anyway, John.
You were born into it.
John, tell us more about what else do you do besides the Laughter Saves Lives Foundation?
Well, everything right now has the Laughter Saves Lives brand. I think that's important. I mean, wrote a screenplay, Time to Laugh, which I'm really excited about. We got a nice feedback from Leary's company. You really got something here. It's basically about laughter before 9/11. What did we do? I had a radio show with my buddy who I lost to 9/11, my partner Tommy Gardner. I used to do my stand-up before 9/11, laughter in the firehouse. You know what firemen are like. I mean, it's a crazy place to work. And then what happened to me on 9/11, what I went through, but then the recovery, and when did we start to laugh again? I mean, people don't look at 9/11 and laughter, but at one point, to remain sane, you have to start laughing again. And we would include the guys. You know, the guys would like, hey, we know what Dennis would do here, you know. I remember one of the first times I laughed was they opened up a warehouse. People were donating stuff from all over the country for firemen and cops. They were shipping stuff up to New York City, right? So we would, what's a fireman's motto? If it's free, it's for me, right? They had axes with can openers. I don't drink. My wife goes, what are you going to do with this axe? It was free. I don't know what I'm doing with it, right? Right? Guys are like that. Yeah. So we go down there one day and we said to Nancy, the one that ran it, who's the honorary guest on Friday.
Not his wife, Nancy.
Not my wife.
No, Nancy Carbone. She's in charge of the president of Friends of Firefighters now. We said, Nancy, what do you got? Well, we got winter hats. Oh, that's good, right? It gets cold. but they're all shaped and in the color of fruit, like bright yellow, banana, orange. So the captain looks at us and goes, "Don't touch those hats. Do not touch those hats, Cap. What are we going to do with these hats?" Somebody distracts him. The next call off the rig, everybody had a different hat on. And he like blew up, and then he started laughing. It's one of the first times I remember laughing after 9/11. And then as you laugh more, I said, you know what? Laughter's a good way to remember these guys because they made me laugh so much. You went to so many funerals. You went to so many memorials. They were important. But you need to laugh. So what a great way to remember them by starting this comedy tour and the foundation as a way to remember them, raising money for some cool people, and making people laugh. So
That's great.
that's where I got the idea. Clap again, clap again,
love
clap
it.
again.
I love it. I love
again.
starting applause breaks. It's my thing.
My late father had a motto. Okay, his motto was laugh and the world laughs with you, cry and you cry alone.
I thought his
And he's
motto was,
always-
"You're gonna eat that."
Yeah, that was it. That was his other.
I think
You're gonna
Eeyore
eat-
said that one.
that was his philosophy on life. You're gonna eat that?
That's my father. You gonna need that? No, I'll finish. That's what my father, you know.
Yeah, my father too.
Yeah.
And then it would be like I would say, maybe we want to give this to the dog, and he'd go woof woof.
My father doesn't even wait until I'm done, like, "Are you going to eat that?" He just goes and grabs it. I had a chicken fingers and french fries before. He goes, "You got no ketchup on here." I'm like, "Are you going to eat my lunch now?" All right.
Yes.
My dad used to do that. You can look at his hand. You can see the indents from the fork.
Anyway, now you're also doing work with veterans.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this. We're going to get every one of you guys down there at one point, I hope. I want to get Nicole down there, you down there. You haven't been there yet. It's an unbelievable experience. We've all done veteran shows. If you haven't, it's old veterans. These guys are old. I mean, they fall asleep when you're doing comedy.
Yeah, I was
They
gonna say,
normally
They
do that
can't
anyway with me.
laugh.
I mean,
They can't laugh. I wanted to get them clickers, you know, so if they thought something was funny, they'll laugh a little bit. One or two guys will heckle. My biggest heckler died 2 months ago, the one guy that we did the show. He was always there. But I asked them after the show, "Guys, you want us back?" And the biggest smiles, you know, because think about it. Every day when we're going about doing our stuff, they're in the same hospital, seeing the same faces. And the hospital's okay, but it's not the best looking hospital. So when we come in there, they love it. They love it. I've had Peter Bales there.
Really?
I've had I'm going blank, Eric Tartaglione. Mike Burton is doing this Sunday show. Keegan, I think this is the second time come back. I think Keegan's going to do that opening spot.
oh yeah,
I think
that's the
Keegan's
show
gonna
that
do
Is
he
there
told
free
me
food
about
there?
that.
What's that?
Free food?
No.
Just
No.
trying to figure out why Mike Keegan would do the same place 2 or 3 times.
He's a good
Oh,
man.
that's
He's a
not
big boy.
nice.
We do have chips.
I know,
we do
I
have
know.
chips for the
I
guys.
know.
Oh, the chips. It's
The
all
chips.
for the chips.
Yeah.
I love Mike Keegan.
I love him
Keegan,
too.
Mike, I love you. You know
He's
that.
a great guy. He's a great guy. I turned around once, and then one guy had like 8 bags of chips he ate. And I'm like, "Is this guy going to get sick?" I'm like, "Oh, what's the difference?" They, yeah, you know, I don't eat what he wants, you know. But I get there early. Sometimes we have to go to the rooms, get wheelchairs, push them up. It's a very humbling. You leave there and you go, "You know what? Wasn't a great comedy set. I didn't feel good about my comedy, but I feel good about what I just did." You know.
That's good. It's a wholesome feeling.
Yes,
I
and
think-
you got to go. I don't say that because you're a pretty girl. My daughters went. They love that interaction with a pretty girl and talking and getting the females there. It's just, you know, the same
it's a
old
show.
chubby guys that coming in doing comedy. They love it. So I
Yeah.
got to get you to come down. You know, they love it. They can't go too fast. So you could outrun them.
Okay, good.
You know, you could outrun them. Yeah.
Do you gentlemen, I think, do you have any questions you'd like to ask John?
Yeah, you said you were having fun before.
I'm having a ball.
Well, what's that feel
What
like?
kind of bowl?
I love it. This is fun to do something live and not know what's going to come out of your mouth next. And
Yeah.
This is great.
It's like
What
real
color
life
socks
right
are you
now.
wearing?
White.
Okay.
White.
I
Is this
weren't
why they don't
like-
let you guys ask questions? Because they suck.
There's going to
at
be an
questions.
exam later. That's
At
why.
least they have a list of questions over there. You need a
They
list.
took
I have-
my list.
Oh,
I
all right.
have it
Here,
here
you
tucked
want-
away.
He folded it.
I folded it.
Folded
I'll
it.
ask a question.
Tucked it up
Do you
in
know
your
Steve
purse.
Buscemi?
I do not know Steve Buscemi.
Who was a fireman.
Nancy
He was a
Carr.
fireman.
Yes, he was a fireman. I actually am going to the Gold Coast Film Festival tomorrow night, and I'm meeting the director. They just did a documentary on Buscemi's documentary. Did you see it? Very good on New York City Fire Department, the history of it. Also did another one called Burn about Chicago. I'm trying to meet this guy to look at my documentary about the Laughter Saves Lives Comedy Club. So I don't know Buscemi.
Response from that.
What's that?
I said, I hope you get a good response from that.
You know what it is, Nicole, in this business, you just got to keep throwing things against it. Like right now, I got the reality show, the documentary, the screenplay. I have the sitcom that I pitched 10 years ago out in L.A. You just got to keep throwing stuff against the wall. You got to keep throwing it. And sooner or later,
Something will
hopefully
bounce
some.
back.
That would be my dream. I would love to play huge theaters of comedy. I think I could do it. I think I can make people laugh, 400, 1,000 people laugh. It's getting to that point where somebody goes, oh, you know what, John's done this or that. And I don't push myself enough.
I think your comedy, I've known you since we were doing open mics 15 years ago with Jackie G and everything.
No, Jackie
right?
G, yeah.
I think your material is so much funnier, and I loved your material then with the
It's
Italian
the same
guy.
material, Benny.
No, it's not.
15 years
No,
ago.
I
it's the same.
remember the one with the
Wacky Inflatable Arm Flailing 2 Man? Is that
no,
what
I
you're doing?
can't say it because it's a little, it might be, but the one with the, you turn the light on to go to the topless bar, I
yeah,
remember
we
that.
can say boobies.
Boobies.
Yeah, that's
And
my
then,
oldest
An
joke.
Italian guy is most organized.
Oh,
because
yeah,
he keeps
yeah.
everything in the same place.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the hammer?
Right here. Yeah, that was one of my old ones.
But no, the stuff about your daughter is hilarious. Dressing the kids.
I was thinking about that on the way over. I didn't know what you guys wanted to talk about. And there's this whole thing with that Chris Rock, what he said about the Boston bombing, and you're at the finish line. He said something like, and then they say run. You know, I just finished 26 miles, and he was. And I'm, you know, people are going, oh, that's really disrespectful for all the people that died. And to me, I would not use that joke. That's not my type of comedy. You know, I would not do that, but I saw the funny in it. You know, and I also could see why people would get insulted by it, but I saw the funny, and think about it. You just ran 26 miles, and then people yell at you, run. That's kind of funny. But relating it to the Boston Marathon when people died again, I can understand that.
There's,
you know,
some
but
jokes.
everybody has their thing, you know, and that's not my thing, but I'm not dirty. I don't curse once in my act. Yet I've watched acts that are pretty dirty and rolled on the floor and watched them 4 times. I don't feel comfortable doing that, but they're funny. You know, so it's like Lisa Lampanelli. I did a show once with Lisa Lampanelli, and I got up there and did my cutesy family stuff, and it was mostly a black audience. She gets up there and starts tearing into the blacks, and they're loving it because that's Lisa
But
Lampanelli.
you have to know,
Yeah.
They'd be doing half the audience.
We've
Yes.
spoken about that. There is a
Sure
way
they
to
did.
push the envelope. You have
And
to
she
know.
does it constantly. If I got up in the middle of my act and made a joke about one of them, I'd probably go get my tush kick. I almost said ass again.
Right.
My tush kick outside the place, you know?
Hey, there's a carload of African Americans waiting for me for the Pellegrino joke.
There you go.
They're at the parking lot. Anyway, we're going to be back. We're going to go to a video
Cool.
of a interview I did with Don Sill. You remember Don Sill? He used to have the radio show, the Double D show.
Okay.
All right. Don Sill, the end of my interview, and then there'll be information about where you can see the rest of this interview on YouTube. And tell them what they won, Nicole. We'll be back. You're watching the Gagootz Show.
Yay!
And so I'm digging what you're doing. I'm a fan
Thank
of the
you.
show. I'm watching it, and like I said, man, it's really good to come and see you. It's been 12 years or so since I've actually
I know.
seen you.
12.
so-
Yeah, I know. Time flies.
Yeah.
Time goes quick. Listen, now what have you been up to?
Well, after, like I said, the radio show really kind of started me off. And then after the radio show, what I started to do was I started with some of the interviews that we did. I would transcribe the interviews and then send them to like Good Times Magazine. And then Good Times Magazine were interested in some of my interviews, and that's got me started in writing, right? So I started writing for Good Times Magazine. I would cover the music scene, which was a lot of emo, like Taking Back Sunday and bands like The Used and bands like that. And also I was interviewing a lot of comedians, and I did a story on you, as a matter of fact, for
Right,
Good Times
yeah.
Magazine. And I did a lot of stories on the local comedy scene as well. And really trying to follow the path of John Blenn, because I was always a fan of John Blenn and his writing, and he started in Good Times Magazine, and then
Right.
eventually went and started his own magazine and all that. But anyway,
And now he's a playwright and a
Yeah.
professor at Five Towns College.
yeah,
right?
so he's doing his thing. He's made a whole career out of it, and he was always kind of like, you know, in a way, an inspiration, a guy who inspired me to really go into writing and covering and being on that side of the media side of this business. So I started doing that, and then eventually that led me to the. It's a weird story how it didn't really directly lead me to it, but what happened was my writing and stuff kind of led the way for me to get involved. But you know, in hockey. The cup thing too. You know, we were there for the player party. So all the players were there with the cup, and right after they won, and it was one of those kind of moments that you can't ever fathom you're going to be in the middle of something like that.
Wow, yeah.
And Kid Rock was there, and Cuba Gooding Jr. was there, and they could name drop all day, but it was a great moment. That's why I wanted to mention it, because it's one of those moments where, one day you're down and out, and writing for your heart out for Good Times magazine. It doesn't really pay the bills, and then the next day there you are, you're drinking out of the Stanley Cup. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so that's why I always say that never give up, and always keep pursuing your dreams, because good things do happen if you work hard enough.
I think we're both examples of that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But all right, so now you work for the Hurricanes, and you have enough time to make you're a filmmaker.
I never stopped.
And that's good. But when you were doing radio, you never stopped either.
Yeah, it's always been.
I was like, here you were raising a family, a house full of little babies, and I'd open up one of the Long Island Fire Island paper, the Fire Island Press.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I open it up, and there's poems by Don Sill. I just did radio with him. Did radio with Don Sill. Calls me up. Benny, I'm going to write an article about a stand-up comedian. I want to do an article about you. Yeah, cool. Yeah. An article about me by Don. He just was, and he's raising. I had one kid who was the age of his son. I had one. And it was dry, and I lost my hair because of that. And I was going crazy with one. I was like, how the hell? Working a full-time job.
Yeah, it was tough.
You're working a full-time job. You're a house full of kids. And you open up the paper, Don Sill. TV Guide review by Don Sill.
I never stopped, and I still never stop.
Back in the toothpaste thing. Surgeon General says by Don Sill. My fortune cookie.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
here's your lucky number by Don Sill. I can just go on and on here. Do not remove tag under penalty of law. Written by Don Sill.
Cracking me up.
You always brought out the funny in me, though. I gotta say, you always brought out the funny in me.
Oh man, same with you, man. We bring out the best of each other.
We had so much fun.
I mean, like that's.
And Denise was great. Denise, if you're watching this, I didn't forget you. You can come on the Gagootz show.
We should have like a reunion show. Maybe get Brian Casador to come down. And
I don't know. He's a chef now.
Yeah.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
And we're back here on the Gagootz Show.
We're clapping.
You in the clapping.
Yay.
Well, everyone, I didn't start that
You're
one.
like Captain Clap.
Captain Clap. I hope it means this and not
Captain
the other.
Clap.
Captain Clap.
Clap.
All right, we're wrapping up the show, so anybody have any big questions? Because now you still do comedy,
Sorry.
but it's fundraiser, but it's still comedy.
No,
so-
I'll still work for other people. I'll do some shows for other people, but mostly my passion is doing the shows for the foundation.
and that's great.
You know, doing the shows for the comedy tour and the foundation. I just booked the show when I was down in Florida, Port St. Lucie, the last day of the Mets spring training before they start the games. So now I'm trying to get one of the Mets to MC the show because I started a little relationship with them. They came to the Firehouse right before September 11th. I met them, Jay Horowitz and David Wright, and Dylan G's dad is a firefighter in Texas. So we're trying to get him to come over. So
cool.
yeah, it should be fun. And I'm bringing my father with me, my son. We're going to enjoy spring training, and I don't know if you've ever been, but it's a lot of fun.
No.
we
You not
go?
like baseball? Or you
I
like
wanna
baseball?
go.
We love,
Yeah, I want to go. David Wright still single these days?
Yes, yes, in fact,
Better
yes.
just
we
go
do-
right over like, hey, David, right?
we do the Hall of Fame. We've done the Hall of
We
Fame.
went to the Hall of Fame twice.
Yes.
We went this summer, and we went when
haven't been for a while.
because we're Yankee
Yeah, but
fans.
for the ceremony.
unfortunately.
We go for the actual
you.
ceremony. We didn't go to
Right.
visit. Yeah.
Right,
You
right,
done
right.
that too?
Never been. I haven't been yet.
It was
Oh,
great. It's expensive, but it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to do it upright. You
Yeah,
have a good
yeah, you got to
time.
do it.
Yeah, it's great
You know?
meeting all those
And I
legends.
took him when he was in 2008. We went.
Yeah,
So you were like what, 13, 14?
that was 14.
And then we went this summer.
I went. We had when I was a fireman in hazmat. We can go anywhere in the city, and we had a guy visiting from Texas, Houston, Texas, hazmat team. So we were going around the city. So we'll take you to Yankee Stadium. So we go up to Yankee Stadium. It's off season. They go, hey, it's closed. You know, don't go into the locker rooms or anything like that. If you guys want to, don't walk on the field. You know. So 5 minutes later, we're out on the field. Right? Right? Monument Park. Then we get down into the dugout. We get into the dressing room. We're going through Don Zimmer's desk. We're pulling out bubble gum and all this kind of stuff for him to bring back. So that was really cool
That's awesome.
to be there in the off season. You know.
That sounds like a good time.
What else we got on there? Any other big
You have any
questions?
good questions?
I mean, I got some hot button issues.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we
okay.
go.
We have some hot button
Let's
issues. We
hear
can do
it.
some lightning round questions. All right. We can do
I'm
some-
waiting.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
All right. Okay, let's go. What's your shoe size?
12.
Lindsay Lohan and Whoopi Goldberg.
What was that?
Lindsay Lohan and Whoopi Goldberg.
I got a
These
funny
are the
story.
hot button issues.
I have a funny story
These are
about
the
Lindsay Lohan's mom. If you want to hear that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go. Hot button issues.
We're doing a fundraiser and she wins one of the raffles. I pick a ticket out and she has a phone number on the ticket, and I'm holding the ticket. I go to what's her name? First name? Something obviously something Lohan.
Lohan.
No, her mother.
Oh, God.
Whatever.
The Dario. I don't know.
And I start reading the phone number out loud. I said,
I don't know.
I start reading the phone number out loud. She was so drunk she didn't even realize what I was doing. So wasn't that funny?
Oh, that was the story?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, good. Then I have a question for you.
Yes.
When you were a fireman in the firehouse, did they ever squirt you with the hose just to get you to shut the hell up?
Well, you know what, Benny? I wasn't a big talker. There was so many funny guys in the firehouse that I took it all in. People would go, "You're a comic? I can't believe you're a comic," you know? And also, I wanted them to think I took the job seriously. You could fool around in the firehouse, but I'm a comic. So if I'm telling jokes or whatever, you have certain guys that are really I mean, not that I wasn't into being a fireman, I was, but really into this job. Oh, he's a comic, he's not taking it seriously. So I had that attitude, like when I was at work, I wanted them to know that this was my job.
That's great.
I wasn't thinking comedy, this was my job.
Right.
You know, and I think I went overboard with that being a little
But
quiet.
hey, you know what? You're making up for it now. So that's good.
I like what I'm doing. I like waking up and not knowing what to expect. After 9/11, we had an interesting situation. We had a policeman guarding the firehouse every day. So I had house watch, where you stand at the watch and you sit at night, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I hear this on the front door of the firehouse. The cop was in the men's room, and I go out, and there's a suitcase ticking in front of the firehouse, right? So being an entertainer and a fireman, I remained calm. I got on the intercom, and it's a right on my head, right? So everybody comes running down. What's going on? I said, Lieutenant, there's a bomb out there. That's ticking. What are you talking? So he goes to the outside door, and he looks over, and he goes, hey, you're right. I go, I'm right. Call a bomb squad. He goes, come on. So he walks close to it. I said, Lou, we call Lieutenant Lou, don't go near it. He goes over and he kicks it, right? Now I'm out of my mind. Well, what they did was they were on the second floor. They took a rope, right? They put the suitcase in the rope and they swung it, hit the door twice, and then pulled the rope out so it fell. So they were all in on it, and I was out of my mind. Right? So that's
So they
the kind
did
of
that
things,
to you as a joke.
that's the kind of things that we did in the firehouse.
So they didn't spray him with a hose, but they tried to blow him up.
I was hit with buckets of water many, many times. Many, many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means they love you.
Who are your greatest comedy heroes?
I love Ray Romano, and I knew Ray Romano before he was Ray Romano. I actually worked with him in the basement of a pizzeria in Forest Hills, Queens.
Oh, wow.
And he walks in and he goes, hey, you look like me. You headline and I'll MC. They won't know the difference. I go, yeah, after I do my 5 minutes of material and I'm done, they'll know the difference. So Ray Romano, I did never like Jay Leno's stand-up, but I met Jay Leno in person after 9/11. I went down to the show, and my God, he was such a gentleman. And he invited me to the show. I met him at Hermosa Comedy Club, and he came out and he goes, John, you want to? He comes walking out. Somebody introduced me. He goes, John. We were walking away. John. So I turn around and he goes, you want to come to the Tonight Show tomorrow? VIP seats. Come on me. VIP seats. Come to the show. I go, Jay, I got to tell you the truth. I think the show sucks. And for like 2 seconds, he forgot I was a comic. And then he looks at me and goes, come on, you want to come? I said, of course I want to come. And he came out after the show, sat with us, just about 10 of us, for a half hour. Pictures.
That's awesome.
So
Really nice, yeah.
the whole Conan O'Brien thing, my son was all worked up because he loved Conan. I said, I'm sorry. I can never say anything bad about the man. He was really
He was
a
nothing but
gentleman.
a gentleman to you.
He really was. Really was.
That's great when you meet somebody that's
Yes.
not a self-obsessed person.
Yes.
And they're actually a nice person.
Yep.
And you can tell that they see that you're a comedian. They're like, I want to help you. I want you to know what it's like. You know, just because I'm on the other side doesn't mean I'm going to be Kanye West.
And then I asked him if I could be on the Tonight Show, and then he's, security! It's done, this guy's done!
Well, a lot of my friends who were doing comedy at the time when he was a stand-up and he used to tour the island, they loved him. They said he was one of the best because whenever he went on a talk show, he had a little book, like a storybook, and once upon a time, Jay Leno appeared, and I heard people loved him as.
Yeah, he seemed like a really sincere, nice person.
And next week on the show, Jay Leno. No, we can't afford him.
Do you have any advice for young for aspiring comedians?
I get into trouble, Benny. Who is John LaRocchia to give advice? You know, he's not that funny, and he's giving advice. I mean, I can name two of the comics right now we all know who busted my chops about that. But that being said, I would have been a lot further in my career, I believe, if I just got up on stage more. Especially after 9/11, I had to give it up for a while. My family. I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. But the bottom line is to network and get up on stage and network, meet people, you know, go on gigs. I drove 5 hours to Pennsylvania for nothing, you know, to meet people.
All right, anyway, we're wrapping up the show. It was great. Thanks a lot for coming. You're
guys.
a great
Nicole,
family man.
you,
You
Benny.
did a coffee house. You brought your whole family to do the coffee house. You brought your whole family like 15 years ago. I want to say Ryan Rizzuti will be back. Not next week, but he'll be back in a couple of weeks. Thank you, Stephen Perillo. You're the greatest co-host I've ever worked with. And of course, I love you, Nicole and Monica.
Get too emotional.
John,
Too
thanks a
emotional.
lot. Come,
Thank
we
you,
want you
guys.
back
Thank
again.
you very much for coming down. We appreciate it.
This has been the Gagootz Show on Madhouse TV.
Good night.
Enjoy the rest of your night.